Schmo with the pro. He's the number 13th ranked UFC middleweight. He has 8 performance bonuses. He does some of the best ceremonial face-offs in the UFC. He's the Bear Jew, Paul Craig in the flesh, Boston, UFC 292. How we doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. That is some intro. That is a beautiful intro. You kind of forget about all the stuff you do with regards to obviously I know about the ceremonial warnings, but 8 bonus performance in the nights. Not too bad for a guy from Scotland, eh?
It's overlooked, man. It's super impressive. It's got to be up there with some of the most in UFC history.
There was only one thing I think you missed. I'm still number 9 in the light heavyweight, so I'm still straddling both of these divisions. So don't think the light heavyweights are getting away from the Bear Jew.
Well, the Schmo didn't know if you were going to be hanging it up in the light heavyweight division. You're so skinny right now. We thought you were just focusing on the middleweight division.
No, I'm coming for both the divisions. I believe there's an opportunity at the middleweight with regards to nobody in that division is getting any jiu-jitsu. The guy we were most worried about was the guy we just fought in
Moniz.
Yep, and we done him. We took away his jiu-jitsu game by bringing in these heavy strikes, and it worked very, very well for us.
So what's the pathway to the title in the middleweight division? Is it a top 10 guy next no matter what? Is it top 15? And when do you think you'd be fighting next?
The name I like is Hermansson. Yeah, a top European, two of the best European middleweights about. We have that. Maybe Scotland, what you think of UFC Scotland? We go there, put on a performance. I finish him in 1 round. Highlight real submission again, and then we look to get in that top 5 again, and then it's just a case of we take the top 10, we take the top 5, and then it's in the mix with Izzy or Duplessis, whoever's got the belt.
Well, we'll get to that in one moment, but you're still talking about this light heavyweight division. You're ranked number 9. Yep. When are you going to fight in that? Is that going to be 2024? Would you do a short notice fight at light heavyweight? What's the plan there?
Yeah, it's much easier for us to maintain light heavyweight than it is to be a middleweight. We've got to do a little bit of a cut. It's something like maybe 9 kg from what we're sitting at now. But as a light heavyweight, we can take that on a day's notice. And the way the light heavyweight division is sitting at the moment, with Jamal Hill sort of vacating the title, we've got Prohaska who's injured, claiming he's coming back soon. We've got Rakic who's injured, claiming he's coming back soon. Something fishy going on in that top spots where all these guys are getting injured, and we're all coming back soon. I don't know, man, if somebody's maybe had like a wee ban or something, but there's something going on in that top end of the division. But I'm there. I'm the only person with a victory over Jamal Hill. I'm the only person with a victory over Ankalaev. And it doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't matter if I pull guard and get the submission or I leave it to the last second and get the submission. I'm still the boogeyman in the light heavyweight division. So if there's a fight out there, or there's somebody want to take that fight, then I'm ready.
Well, who do you reckon's going to be fighting for that light heavyweight championship? There's no champion. Jamal Hill vacated it. There's no announcement. The Schmo thinks they're going to do Yuri Prohaska against Alex Pereira in December. UFC, what would it be, 296? What do you reckon they do?
I think they're still overlooking, you've still got Jan Blachowicz sitting there, and you've still got, I know he sort of lost his last fight, but you've still got Ankalaev. Ankalaev's the guy that everybody's scared of, and I was excited to see Ankalaev versus Prohaska, and I'm not saying that the middleweight moving up to light heavyweight gets the automatic title shot after beating Jan Blachowicz the way he did, but come on, man, you can't just jump the queue. There's people waiting in line, so for me it should be Ankalaev versus Prohaska, and it's round about that December time.
Well, listen, Ankalaev, he doesn't have a fight. The UFC is likely going to make him dance again rather than give him a title shot. Maybe put your name in the hat for that fight.
Yeah, I would love to get a victory over him and not have it with such a cloud over it, because people are like, you only got it in the last minute submission. Well, it doesn't matter if it's the last second or the first second of the fight. A submission's a submission. So I'd love to go in there and show how much I've developed and show how much he's developed. And it's only going to go one way. When I drag you to the mat, it's game over for some of that Scottish jiu-jitsu.
Well, running it back like that would be the fast track to the light heavyweight belt.
Yep. And that's what we're looking for. When you look at who have fought in that top 10, all the guys have got it. They've all been with me, or they've had the opportunity to fight me, like submitting in London, Krylov, having the 3 rounds with Ozdemir, getting knocked out in Brazil off not Jamal Hill, Johnny Walker. So I'm in the mix with all these guys anyway. And as we see, the light heavyweight division at the moment's kind of a little bit flat, isn't it? I think there needs to be something happening, and it could be a chance of Paul versus Ankalaev for the title, man. I'd love that.
Let's talk about the middleweight division. We got Sean Strickland in Australia against Israel Adesanya. What do you think happens to that fight? Does Sean Strickland shock the world?
No, not a chance. Sean Strickland fights with his hands down here. Izzy will capitalise on that and pick him apart, pick, poke, and he'll make him look like an average fighter. Whereas I think the fight that we all wanted to see was at Duplessis, where he's a wee bit more wilder. He kind of rumbles more, they step forward, looking shots, and I think they will work better against somebody like Adesanya, who likes the crisp boxing, the crisp kickboxing. I think that's his route to victory, is that crazy fight. Whereas I don't think Sean Strickland's got the minerals. He hasn't got these.
Who do you think is going to eventually be the guy to upset Israel Adesanya then and hold that middleweight strap?
I think there's only one guy who's got the jiu-jitsu. If you're going to try outstrike Izzy, who is a high-level striker, it's not going to work for you. We've seen him going up against some of the best strikers in his division, and he's picked and poked them apart. Whereas I think what you need to do is, the same way Blachowicz beat him, drag him to the mat, take away his game plan, and then submit him in that. That's my key to victory in there. So who do I think is going to be the guy to take the belt off him? It's going to be me.
Well, Chris Weidman, he's returning right here in Boston. This is a big Schmo, man. He had that big break over there in Jacksonville. And the last time he was here in Boston, it was in the light heavyweight division when he lost to Dominic Reyes. What do you think the pressure's like for a guy like him, Chris Weidman?
I think Chris is coming to the end of his career. I think this is probably going to be the last time you're going to see him making weight, be it light heavyweight or middleweight or any other weight in that moment. But I want him to win. He is All-American. He is the guy that everybody should be looking up to as an MMA fighter. He is a really nice guy, but I don't see him getting it done. I see him, he's, as I said, coming to the end of his career. He's got that break. I think he's going to be worried. And the game for when he was the champ to what it is now has changed so much. But prove me wrong, Mr. Weidman, prove me wrong.
What do you make of Ian Machado Gary? A lot of big words between him and Neil Magny. Does someone get finished?
I think Magny does get finished. I think the only way Magny wins this if he holds him against the cage for 15 minutes, and nobody wants to see that. And I think Gary's going to create that distance and look to just get these highlight reel knockouts. The kid's very, very good. This fight, I'm not as excited as the fight he should have had in this card. I was more excited to see the boxing, the element of him, but injuries happen. People can't fight sometimes, and then what happens is somebody steps in last minute and we get like this kind of really weaker version of what was to be expected in this card. So I'm not excited about that fight. The fight I'm most excited about for this card is Chito Vera against Pedro Munoz. That's the fight where it's going to be highlight reel stuff. Chito is an amazing practitioner in MMA. Pedro Munoz is as tough as they come. Who you got in that?
Well, the winner of that fight, do they get a title shot? That's the big question here.
I don't know. Because I know obviously you're going to get once Aljamain wins, he's talking about moving up, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's going to vacate the title, and then you're going to have maybe Sugar Sean versus another hand-picked opponent for him, and I don't think it's going to be Chito.
Wait a second. You think Sugar Sean, if he loses, which you seem to be predicting right here, gets another title shot right after that?
I'm not going to be able to walk through the hallway once you put this out. People are going to be like, I'm going to have Chris Weidman after me, and I'm going to have Sugar Sean after me. But yeah, I can't see how he wins the fight. I can't see how he is going to beat Aljamain Sterling when Aljamain Sterling gets on his back and subs him within, I'm going to say it's going to be done in under 2 rounds. And I can't see how he's going to beat one of the best versions of Aljo we've seen.
No championship rounds needed then.
I don't think so. I can't see it going that way. And I think Sugar's got quit in him.
The Bear Jew coming in hot. Nice beard, by the way. You're trimming that thing pretty well.
It's not too bad, and everybody knows the secret of how it keeps it nice and glossy. And if I need to tell you, then you clearly don't know how to keep it glossy.
Well said. Can we get a final message for all the Bear Jew fans out there worldwide?
So for the Bear Jew fans, listen, we ain't done it light heavyweight, and we certainly ain't done it middleweight. We've got a big fight coming up, and it's going to be exciting to be a Bear Jew fan at this time.
Prediction of when? Right here in 2023?
It's going to be this side of the year. We are going to get a big fight, and it's going to skyrocket into that top 10. Trust me, we're going to bounce the top 10 right into the top 5 after a victory in this next fight. Trust me, it's a good one.
Statement made. He's the pro. I'm the Schmo. Boston. We're out.